Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First on 702, like Senator Feinstein, I want to express my support for this important tool for our intelligence agencies. I do have a concern which we can discuss perhaps in closed session about the process by which American names which are incidentally collected are then queried. I'm concerned by the distinction between query and search and where we run into the Fourth Amendment. It strikes me as bootstrapping to say we collected it legally under 702 and then we can go and look at these American persons, and I believe that the Fourth Amendment imposes a warrant requirement in between that step, which is not present in the present process. We can discuss that at greater length. Mr. McCabe, I'm puzzled by your refusal to answer Senator Heinrich's question about a conversation you may have had with Director Comey. What's the basis of your refusal to answer that question?
Sure. As I stated, I think first, I can't sit here and tell you whether or not that those conversations that you're referring to.
Why not? Do you not remember them?
No, I'm sorry, sir. I don't know whether conversations along the lines that you have described fall within the purview of what the special counsel is now investigating.
Is there some prohibition in the law that I'm not familiar with that you can't discuss an item and that you've been asked directly a question?
It would not be appropriate for me, sir, to discuss issues that are potentially within the purview of the special counsel's investigation.
And that's the basis of your refusal to answer this question?
Yes, sir. And that, and knowing, of course, that Director Comey will be sitting behind this table
it's your
tomorrow.
position that the special counsel is entitled to ask you questions about this, but not an oversight committee of the United States Congress?
It is my position that I have to be particularly careful about not stepping into the special counsel's lane, as they have now been authorized by the Department of Justice.
I don't understand why the special counsel's lane takes precedence over the lane of the United States Congress and an investigative and oversight committee. Can you explain that distinction? Why does the special counsel get deference and not this committee?
Sir, I'd be happy
to— Is there some legal basis for that distinction?
I would be happy to take that matter back to discuss it more fully with my general counsel and with the department, but right now that's the—
On the record, I would like a legal justification for your refusal to answer the question today, because I think it's a straightforward question. Mm-hmm. It's not involving discussions with the President. It's involving discussions with Mr. Comey. The gentleman, Mr. Director Coats and Admiral Rogers, I think you testified, Admiral Rogers, that you did discuss today's testimony with someone in the White House?
I said I asked, did the White House intend to evoke executive privileges associated with any interactions between myself and the President of the United States?
And what was the answer to that question?
To be honest, I didn't get a definitive answer, and both myself and the DNI are still talking to the White House.
So then I'll ask both of you the same question. Why are you not answering these questions? Is there an invocation by the President of the United States of executive privilege? Is there or not?
Not that I'm aware of.
Then why are you not answering our questions?
Because I feel it is inappropriate, Senator.
What you feel isn't relevant, Admiral. What you feel isn't the answer. The answer is, why are you not answering the questions? Is it an invocation of executive privilege? If there is, then let's know about it. If there isn't, answer the questions.
I stand by the comments I've made. I'm not interested in repeating myself, sir. And I don't mean that in a contentious way.
Well, I do mean it in a contentious way. I don't understand why you're not answering our questions. You can't. When you were confirmed before the Armed Services Committee, you took an oath. Do you solemnly swear to give the committee the truth, the full truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God. You answered yes to that.
And I've also answered that those conversations were classified, and it is not appropriate in an open forum to discuss those classified conversations.
What is classified about a conversation involving whether or not you should intervene in the FBI investigation?
Sir, I stand by my previous comments.
Mr. Coates, same series of questions. What's the basis for your refusal to answer these questions today?
The basis is what I've previously explained. I do not believe it is appropriate for me to
What's the basis? I'm not satisfied with I do not believe it is appropriate or I do not feel I should answer. I want to understand a legal basis. You swore that oath to tell us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and today you are refusing to do so. What is the legal basis for your refusal to testify to this committee?
I'm not sure I have a legal basis, but I'm more than willing to sit before this committee and during its investigative process in a closed session and answer your question.
Well, we're going to be having a closed session in a few hours. Do you commit to me that you're going to answer these questions in a direct and unencumbered way?
Well, That closed session you're going to have in a few hours involves the staff going over the technicalities of a number of these issues and doesn't involve us, but
Well, is it your
I
testimony
assume
that
you will
when
call-
you are before this committee in a closed session, you will answer these questions directly and unequivocally and without hesitation?
I plan to do that, but I do have to work through the legal counsel at the White House relative to whether or not they're going to exercise executive.
Admiral Rogers, will you answer these questions in a closed session?
I likewise respond as the DNI has. I certainly hope that that is what happens. I believe that's the appropriate thing. But I do have to acknowledge, because of the sensitive nature and the executive privilege aspects of this, I need to be talking to the general counsel in the White House. I hope we come to a position where we can have this dialogue. I welcome that dialogue, sir.
I hope so, too, and I would just add in conclusion that both of you testified you had never been pressured under 3 years. I would argue that you have waived executive privilege by, in effect, testifying as to something that didn't happen, and I believe you opened the door to these questions, and it is my belief that you are inappropriately refusing to answer these questions today. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.